Hey, my name's Dallin, and in this video I'm going to show you guys a step-by-step tutorial on how to manually home the robot. We call it manually home, but really we're just running to a reference position using a main program. So that's what I'm going to show you guys how to do today. So first step, on this particular machine we call this RD1. On the back of RD1, this is where we keep the robot pendant. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here. I'm going to switch the pendant from off to on. I'm going to switch the controller from auto to T1 mode. So that will put it in a manual state so that now I can run the program. So then I'm going to come over here to my robot. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to need to home the robot, right? So I can know that this robot is not in the home position because usually it's, if I open the gate here, usually it's right here and we run it to that reference position so it's easy for us to change the grippers on the robot. So I'll go ahead and shut this. First thing we have to do with this robot, you can see up here, if I hit reset on the robot, I've got an input group 1 servo alarm, which means that on this particular robot I have to pull out our control power. So on this robot it's set up with a PLC. So I'm going to pull the control power out, come back over to the robot pendant. So a little explanation on how the robot pendant works. First, I'm always going to put my hand through the strap. It's very important. These things cost thousands of dollars. If you ever drop it, it's a bad day. If you ever have to replace anything on it, they're very expensive. So make sure you're always putting your hand through the loop. And back here, this is called the dead man switch. The dead man switch is a 3-position switch. Out is off, which means that the robot won't run if this is not depressed. So I'm going to leave that out. That's off. Halfway is on, which means the robot will run. And why they call it a dead man switch is when something happens to the robot or you get scared, it moves too fast. Sometimes what people do is they'll actually grip harder on the robot, and that'll cause the switch to also be in an off position. So off, off, halfway in between is on. So we got to make sure we don't hold it too hard or else the robot will also not run. Next thing I'm going to do, and you should learn this always whenever you're using the robot pendant, is function, and it pulls up your function, your display screen here, pulls up abort all. So I can either hit 1 or I can hit enter. If I hit enter, that's going to abort whatever program I was previously running on the pendant or the robot, and will allow me to then start a new main program. Right now I'm in single screen mode. If I was, sometimes when you come over the robot, it may be in a dual screen mode or a triple screen mode. The way I can change that is I hold shift, I hit display, and it comes up with this pop-up here. It says single, double, or triple. If I was to select double, I can either hit 2 or enter. As I scroll down, I can hit double. That's what that looks like. I can toggle back and forth 2 screens. Remember, when you're in double mode, you always have to run the main program in the left-hand side of the screen. So, after I do that, I just want it to be in single mode so it's easier for us to see right now. So I'm going to hold down shift, I'm going to hit display. I'm going to select single and hit enter. And that's going to pull up my single screen mode. So, next thing I'm going to do is I want to find what we do with all of our robots to make it easier is we call all of our reference positions or our perch positions home position. And I'm going to pull up the home program using select. So this button right here is select. That's what I'm going to push. I'm going to scroll down or scroll up to wherever I can find the home program. That's it right there. Once I've found the program that I want to run, I hit enter. And it's going to start me on line 1. And this is the sequence. Dead man switch, hold down shift, and keep those 2 held the whole time this program is running. And I'm going to hit forward, and it's going to start running that program. as it's running, you can see the line start to jump, and it's going to do its thing now. You can see the robot's barely moving. And sometimes what happens with these programs is that the percentage is overridden here in the program, and what we need to do is bump it up. So if I'm holding shift at the same time I hit plus down here on the percentage, now you can see the robot is moving significantly faster. And if I hit plus, it's automatically going to default, when I have the shift held, it's going to default to 50%. And that's what I want. So when I'm jogging around and I'm running a program, I'll run it at 50%. Let's say I was in a tight space and I don't want it to hit anything, I can adjust that percentage down from 50 to 5 while I'm holding the shift, just as easy as that. If I want to go below that, go really slow, I go down to 1%. But it'll go back and forth between 50 and 5% as I adjust that percentage while I'm holding shift. So now our robot's in home position, and now we're ready to change the grippers.